Yes, that's right. It's just us. We're back. So get the chicken and the cold eggs ready because we're here to talk a piping hot episode of Below Deck Med, Season 9, Episode 3. I am your captain, Sasha Joseph, joined with my co-captain, our chief entertainment officer, Chappell. Welcome. We made it somehow. Our tender has reached the boat.
Yeah, and we have provisions this time, so everything should be fine. No worries. Everything should be perfect. Um, but we don't have a guest this time. Sasha,
Yes.
we had a guest the first week. We had Rob come on the second week as proof of concept that people want the Below Deck podcast. But now it's just
Mhm.
us. And I think we're gonna have a great time talking about Below Deck this week because the Peanut Gallery has spoken and they want more of this coverage. And so we are going to bring it as much as we can and
Yes.
hope that everybody's tuning in and enjoying what we got going over here on the Below Deck Wrap Up.
Yes, and make sure you're sharing with your friends, anyone that's a Bravo fan. Come on
Yeah.
down. All right? Let's do it. Let's keep the conversation going. Give us those 5-star reviews on our Below Deck RHAPups. Okay,
Yes.
5 stars only. Be serious. And of course, if you're listening to us, we are on YouTube as well on the Rob Has a Podcast YouTube channel. So wherever you are, come join us. Come find us. But I think let's get into it, okay? Because you and I have been ducking the cancellation. But listen,
Mhm.
Nathan and Gail have been trying to duck the cameras. It's crazy.
So we got to talk about it.
Yes.
Because last podcast, poor Rob, he was just in the middle of us as we argued over if the City Boys were winning this round or City Girls were winning this round. And I feel like I'm vindicated watching Gail chicken out. Listen, we tried to hoist this woman up and say, listen, City Girls are up. She's doing what needs to be done. These men deserve less, blah, blah, blah. And then the moment it's time and a little heat was on, she folded like a chair, like just folded. Boom.
Are we
Next thing you
watching the
know,
same show?
yeah, next thing you know, she's texting her boyfriend. Oh my god, I guess I gotta be a better girlfriend. You bet you do, because when he sees this, he's gonna know what you almost did in those back alleys, in the back corners of that boat, Gail. So yes,
But
City Boys back, baby.
no, I think City Boy should be embarrassed because
Stop it.
Nathan was crouching by himself in some back alleyway. Nathan got left on red, baby.
He
That's
did.
what the hell
He
happened.
did. But he only got left on red because she chickened out. She didn't have it in her. She thought she was a savage and she
I
ain't
don't
one.
care why. The
She
point is,
ain't she
only one
ain't the
person was
savage.
left holding their.
Sasha, she ain't no diva. She ain't no diva. I'm sorry.
Listen, she is.
She,
She just realized you got to play the long game with boys, okay? Unfortunately, the caveman instinct never left y'all. You like the chase.
the chase isn't bad, but also Gail, if you're gonna be the big bad wolf, you got to step into that role, because I feel like when the heat was on, she folded, and now she did a half measure, Sasha. I think that's what I'm really interested to see,
Yes.
is that she did enough to where if I'm the boyfriend sitting back at home watching this season of Below Deck, I don't care how things have been going, we're gonna have to talk about that. We're
Oh,
definitely
of
gonna have to talk
course.
about you pump faking your way into that situation, because even though you pulled out, you definitely was about to shoot the ball. You know what I'm saying? So I think we gotta really stop down and talk about Gail, what are you doing? What are you doing? If you're gonna halfway cheat, you might as well all the way cheat.
That's where I was. Where I said
Mhm.
either way you're having the embarrassing conversation.
Yeah.
And the only reason you stopped is because the cameraman scared you. Like, he
Scary.
almost,
Ooh.
slapped it's like he mentally, slapped her. I mean, "What are you doing, girl? Stand up." That's what I
Mhm.
felt happened, and in my mind, I'm breaking up with you. If you see your
Yeah.
girlfriend or if I see my boyfriend doing this, it's over. If you thought about cheating, you cheated.
It's a fireable offense. It really is.
Yes.
Because here's the thing. Sure, you thought about it in your head. That's fine. Whatever thoughts you have up here, that's fine. That's your brain. The moment it turns into action and then we have it on camera, Gail, babes, what are you doing? I think that's why I came in okay, gotta
Yeah.
start with Gail, because if you're gonna cheat, cheat. Just go do it. it's okay. But
Mhm.
it's like this J. Cole move of just like, I'm gonna throw out a little diss track and I'm gonna pull it back. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, like don't acknowledge what already happened. That wasn't me. I'm not in that. It's like, no, you already did it. You might as well go through with it at this point because this is a fireable offense.
Yeah, like I said, I'll give you that. Like, she should have just fully hit full send and then been like, "No, actually, I went there and it didn't happen." Lie
Mhm.
till you die. There's no cameras. What do
Right.
you
And
know?
see, and that's the thing. If there was no cameras, I think she'd be all right. But it's just the
She should have been
it
like, "No, no, no, I, like, left really early, I promise." Like, I actually got scared. Once I saw him, I just felt like, "Oh my god, what am I doing? I'm so sorry I got caught up. It's only been 5 months." There's
yeah.
no way.
She could try, but there should not be a way. Gail's boyfriend, stand up. This is your tape. You know, this is for you. Stand up.
Oh my god, yeah, it's just she's so beautiful. I think people get
Mhm.
caught up, and I
Yeah.
love that
Look,
for us.
mistakes be made. You know,
Like,
like look, this is
yeah,
not me judging her for wanting to cheat. You know, this is not me judging her for not cheating. It's judging her for the like half measure of I'm gonna basically cheat and then chicken out and still get in trouble for cheating. Because you no
yeah.
way, like you said, there's no way you don't have the conversation once the show airs. Maybe her boyfriend never is going to watch the show. Maybe she's just one of those people who have managed to keep her relationship out of her professional life altogether and he won't know. But honestly, I just don't see that being the case. Like this man is going to find out and you ain't even do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to get in trouble essentially or broken up with essentially because so you almost did. It's like, bruh, at least go through with it. Don't get punished for something you didn't even quite do.
Yeah, that's where I am. Where I just feel that if you're gonna do something and you don't follow through with it, it doesn't matter. So, full send.
Mm-hmm.
Ask forgiveness later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Especially once you get to this point. You know, when he starts telling you where the blind spots are for the camera, I think you're right. She got kind of caught up in the moment. You know,
Yeah.
it was exciting. It was sexy. It's this new boat. It's this hot guy. She's lonely. She's missing her dude. Cool. But then just like you said, she runs into the camera person and all the common sense came flooding back into her brain. And she's like, what am I doing? Am I really
He's
about to
like, "No,
like
you need you need a mic." And she's like,
right,
"Mic? Where?"
right. Whoa, oh, because y'all can see me. I'm not a ghost. I'm not invisible. Oh, okay. That's when she really panics. I think, yeah, I think if she doesn't run into them, maybe common sense doesn't ever kick in. But she did, and it looks like she was saved, you know. Um, I don't know. I feel like production should have stepped out of the way on this one. You
Yeah,
know, like
production's
when
probably so pissed that
yeah, they're
they
like,
stopped
how
her.
did you screw that up? Yeah, whoever that camera person was, they're definitely fired.
Yeah, I just feel like they're in trouble. Like, it should be like, "It's fine." Sometimes you just gotta let them go.
Right. The camera person gets involved in the conversation. They're like, okay, listen, I'm going to guard the door. Then you go do whatever you want. That's when you get the camera person an Emmy because
Yeah,
you
he
know
just needs to be like, "There's no cameras, you're right, it's fine, girl."
right. Like, oh shoot,
Wink,
go
wink,
girl.
just go.
Yeah, he went that way. You know, like kind of egg it on just a little bit.
And
You
then
know, we
go
trying
with
to
your
for good TV.
camera and be a
Right.
creep.
Hide from like a distance. You got Zoom, you know what I'm saying? Like just kind of sit out in the corner and just kind of see, you know what I'm saying? Like, or
Yep.
even just like, you know, toss a little mic over there or something. You know what I'm saying? We'll figure out the rest. We'll fill up in the blanks. I don't know.
Yes.
It
We've
was like
just
a golden
seen
TV
and
moment
heard.
we were about to
Thank
have.
you. Thank you. We've just
Mhm.
seen and mind you, it would have been episode 2 and 3 that this
That's how
quickly
you start a
happened.
season. Right, exactly.
Yeah, y'all are
Rob.
killing me, okay? And the other thing I will say is they love the creepy shots anyway, right? Like
Yes,
every
through the
weird
windows.
cutaway
Yeah.
of them like going to bed is so uncomfortable. Like Ellie at one point like she was just trying to get into bed, but her legs were like really wide open. And I was like, why did we need this?
You know, I've been meaning to ask you a question about these Bravo shows because a lot of them do it where they'll just like I think Summer House is probably the biggest
Yeah.
culprit of that, where for no reason at all you show these people getting ready to go to bed and then you highlight them like their name pops up on the screen like there's
Mhm.
such and such too, and I'm thinking, okay, do I need to know that that's such and such or not? Because if it's just you know insert random person's name, is this just
Yeah.
Gail going to bed? Okay, but like show me her if she's doing something interesting, right? If she's in bed and she's texting her boyfriend, that's what I want
Correct.
to know. I just don't want to see like, all right, and it's midnight and they're all going to sleep. You could have just breezed past that a little bit. I don't know. I just noticed that in the style of some of these
Yeah,
Bravo
it's just
shows.
it's getting, like, more creepy, I will say, as the years go on. Like, they've always had, those random B-roll cuts, but I feel that now it's getting, like, very weird to where
Mm,
now it's just, like, gross shots. Even, like, Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, the show you and I covered on Recap Kickback, same thing. Why do we need, like, Preston getting ready, and
yeah,
it's just, like, his butt, bare butt?
yeah. Or even last season on Below Deck, where I mean, we saw every part of that man's ass throughout the entire season. I mean, Barbie was upset about him getting naked, but I mean, when she goes back and
Yes.
watch the show, he's naked the entire time based on the footage we saw. So it's just very weird that it's coming like, and I'm not really complaining that much. It's just something that
Mhm.
I noticed. This is like there ain't nothing else you could have shown us in this moment that would have probably enhanced the shows. I don't know. For me, that just now it just kind of always falls flat because I always think something's about to happen. Like, oh, they're using night vision.
Exactly.
Maybe something cool is gonna happen. It's like, nah, they're just going to sleep.
We're just gonna see some weird angles of human
Yeah,
beings.
that's
And
it.
it's like, thank God they know that they're gonna be on TV, so they're, like, shaved and but it's nuts what all
Hmm.
they can show on TV. I don't understand. So, yeah, that really ends it. We don't really see much else from, like, Nathan and Gail. Boo, I'm bored. Bye. We do get a Sandy firing of the season, but it's the provisioner.
Yeah, number one out the gate, provisioner is fired, and for good riddance. You know what I'm saying? Like they suck. We spent 2 episodes waiting on Rose and basic, supplies for a super
Yes.
yacht, and the provisioner was so bad that they potentially made the chef look good because in this episode the chef was bad, and Sandy started to question. Well, maybe it's because he didn't have the provisions. I didn't even see that he was so bad, and now that he does have everything at his disposal, he might not be that great of a chef
And he's
after all.
still terrible? Oh, okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm with you, Chappelle. And I also feel that this provisioner, this was a setup from the start, and you can't tell me otherwise because during Watch What Happens Live, Aisha was on, and Andy asked her this question again, like, "Why didn't y'all just freaking go to the,
To the shore, yeah.
store?" And she just kept being like, "Well, we didn't wanna go to the store and buy and spend another whatever $1,000 if the provisioner was coming because he just kept saying he's coming, he's coming, he's coming. But I'm like, you're never gonna use Rose ever again.
No, like stop it, stop it. Yeah,
Right?
what
Like
do you?
you could get enough for a charter
It's enough.
and
It's
then
literally enough. All you got to
um
do is run in and get some rosé. It's just enough for like these 8 guys. It's
exactly.
I don't know. It's weird that all of this happened because of basically rosé and other things.
Yeah.
And I just like, bruh, go to the shore, get some stuff, come back, happy guest, you move on. But
Production was like, you shall not pass.
right, yeah, like, oh wait, the tender is not working. We can't get you.
Yes.
Sorry, something's wrong. You got all the stores are closed. What do you know? There's no wine in the entire country. That's how it felt. Like it's like a lot of
Yep.
excuses for why you wouldn't just go and get some.
So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up from Watch What Happens Live. And now let's get to the preference sheet meeting. So Gigi is back, and our listener's mom is the rabbi on this trip.
Yes. Okay, so you know Gigi from the past.
Yes, Gigi was
What
on
was
Below Deck season at 10.
okay, and
Regular
what
Below.
was your experience watching below Gigi the first time if
The
she was
same.
even that memorable? About the
The
same?
the same as in, like, you remember her, she's very particular, she's fancy, she's a freaking like, 17 Grand Slam champion, so I think
Yeah.
that's exciting, and that's what I remembered from her, is that, like, "Oh my god, this is like a tennis pro," but
Right.
outside of that, to me, it just felt yeah, it's similar-ish in that she's particular and there's drama around that, but, yeah, nothing, like, outrageous. She's not rude person.
I do like that her and Sandy are still friends from I guess whenever
Mhm.
that happened.
Yeah,
Because
they're friend from that,
yeah,
episode, which is crazy.
yeah, they had Sandy excited. She was very happy to come and like help this group out. She wanted to eat with them and really talk to them, make sure they got everything good. And At first it started off strong. I think Sandy was very proud of her team and what they were doing. But there's always a weak link somewhere on Below Deck.
Yes.
And in this episode, there were a couple. There were definitely a couple. Ian, Mr. Bosun, he made some mistakes that Sandy had to talk to him about. And then of course,
Ooh.
Jono, the chef, left everybody a little bit wanting more, I guess I'd say. And
Go
so
ahead, girl. Give us nothing.
mid, super mid, all mid, all day. It was a very interesting change of events.
Yeah, can we let's talk about John, because okay, the preference sheet, right, like says, hey, Gigi's here, we're all excited. And basically they just said, Sandy said, listen, last time they had 7 courses at each meal, so their
Mhm.
expectations are high. And one guest sure had like a no mayo, no lamb, turkey, duck, or pork.
Mhm.
She also has a gluten allergy. Blah blah blah. She hates seafood. I was like, is this me? But I love
Yeah,
lamb, so I would never. And all this where seafood is one of top requests, right? Like these are the issues per se, but it's not the biggest deal. And then I feel the chicken is fine if you cook it good. Am I crazy?
I don't know, because Sandy said chicken is not really what you serve on a super yacht.
Yeah.
And I thought, what are you talking about? What when did chicken become like low class dining? Like I think that if you prepare it well, and you
Yeah.
you can prepare things to make them more upscale than they actually are. And so I just felt like maybe if they cook the chicken in a different way, like you said, it should be fine. But Sandy definitely made it seem like chicken has no place here. There you go. Like the fact that you even cook chicken is kind of
Mhm.
weird to her. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. Well, the woman was averse to lamb, beef, fish,
Everything. Pork. Yeah.
right, pork. And so it's like
Turkey.
from his and turkey. So from his point of view, he thought, okay, the only other animal that I can really think of off the top of my head that I think we can get provisions for this quickly is probably chicken. Is there another protein that I'm missing that they really should have like? What did you want them to serve at that point? She said she didn't want anything.
Yeah, maybe like, oh, just chicken for her, and then everyone else gets
Right.
something else.
Everybody else gets the real nice fancy plate.
I do think like a lamb would have been nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know. I cook lamb. I really like lamb chops.
Mhm.
And I just think they're so easy to cook.
Yeah. I've never made lamb chops, but I definitely ate some good lamb
Oh, I
chops in my
got
day.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, lamb chops are so good. I make them in the pressure cooker, funny
Mhm.
enough, just like 2 whistles, and it's 2 or 3 and it's good to go. So, but I
Mhm.
make all my food Indian style, so maybe that's why, but it's just I like Sir Jono. And then
Well,
he does
Sasha,
that, and they're talking about that, Chappelle, and then it just keeps getting worse and worse.
yeah. I find it funny that you bring up how you cook all your food Indian style because I don't think the people on this charter would have been very happy about that. Because they were talking about the spices in that one
In the rice?
in the rice and we're like, it's very Indian. I said, "Oh,
Yes, isn't it
okay."
Indian curry? And I said, "For
Yeah.
tacos?"
For taco? And that I was watching him make the rice, and on the screen, they were putting each of the seasoning, and this is no disrespect to my white, counterparts out there, but the moment I saw that 3rd seasoning drop, I said, "You
Yes.
have to remember your audience because everybody don't like a lot of spices, a lot it really does sometimes it's cultural, sometimes it really is."
Yes.
And so, I saw that and I said, "Oh, somebody's gonna say this is spicy." And immediately people were like, the seasoning on this one. Meanwhile, I'm at home like mouth water, and I was like, oh my
Right,
god, all
that
those
rice was
seasonings.
bomb. I don't know about you, but when I funny enough, when I make lamb, I end up putting a little bit of seasoning, like paprika and garam masala in the rice, because 'cause I'm like, I
Mhm.
need some, it needs a
Yeah,
little
a little kick, a
moment.
little extra,
Yeah.
a little something on the end.
And I'm like, exactly. And I think if you're eating tacos and the rice, everything needs to have seasoning. Otherwise, it's just gonna be there for the added calories, right? Like I don't know that you're gonna taste it otherwise.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think I like don't get me wrong. You can definitely over season food.
Of course. And I'm
That's a
sure I
thing.
do. I'm not even trying to
But
argue, but
it
be smart.
happens. However, for this group, I knew it. I immediately said, "Oh no, that's just That's a little too zesty. That's just a little too much extra on there. You
Oh
got
my
to keep it
god.
like. Don't get me wrong. Don't keep it simple because apparently they like something that's a little bit more lavish.
I just think
And
they
like,
like maybe have a French palate. I think that's the
ooh,
kindest way I can say it.
that is a very nice way of putting that, for sure.
Or, yeah, because British people, their food, I don't know, is like well, the food that I know isn't necessarily upscale, and they've colonized my country to, like, make it their dish.
Oh no,
So
listen, because I
I don't know
definitely
if
ate
that
some
works.
good Indian food in London, and it was the only good food I ate. No, no, don't get me wrong. I got some curry goat from some
That's what I was
Jamaicans,
gonna say, probably
but
some
yeah,
Caribbean food, yeah.
yeah, but at the same time, nah, it just the British cuisine itself wasn't giving me what I needed, and so, but I think this group would have preferred something closer to that, as you were
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah, listen, they said they're from Delaware, they're Joe Biden's, like, they know
neighbors.
they're, like, 1 or 2, people away from Joe Biden, da da
Yeah.
da da, so they're particular people,
Yeah, I knew
and
those
they
people was
obviously
gonna
have
whoop
money.
their ass. Yeah. Oh, these people are filthy rich. These people are so rich, and I think that's another reason why Cap Sandy's kind of looking at Jono crazy because it's like these people are used to upscale food. They are.
Yes.
So for you to present, this chicken dish, which like for me, I think it's fine, right?
I
Because
didn't
I'm not.
think it looked good though, right? There were no color on the dish.
I have to really go back and look at it in the
It had, like, asparagus on it, and then he gave the other
oh,
lady
it did have asparagus.
cauliflower,
Yeah.
and I know you're an asparagus fan,
You know me, I like my
yes.
vegetables. I know
Yeah,
you don't like vegetables even though you're
no.
you're forced to eat them.
Literally my life. It's terrible. But I just feel like if chicken is served white or with a white sauce, it just in my mind equals it's not cooked. I know it's not
Yeah,
real. I know that's like not a real thing. And then a chicken breast too. Oh my god. I just think it's
yeah,
the worst cut.
it just yeah, I think that can come off very bland, I really
Yeah.
do, and so, I see where they were going, but, I just didn't think it was that big of a deal, but, like, now that we talk it through, just with the clientele that they had to work with this time, maybe they did need to just, like, spice it up a little bit more
Yeah.
as far as,
Not
like,
actual
presentation.
spices.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, not actual spices. No, not flavor it up. Just, give them something a little bit more inventive. Because even
Yeah.
Aisha eyeballs it from jump and says, "Wait, I don't know about that. I don't think that's gonna work for you."
And
And
she
so
talked about it on Watch What Happens Live, that
really,
who does that? She's like, "I had to serve that crap. I can't
oh
believe
my
it.
god,
Chicken? Who does chicken?" She just kept saying that over and over and over. And, I believe Colin was um, in the audience, so that's why I think it was, like, even crazier.
yeah.
So, yeah. Oh,
But
it's just nuts.
Aisha's reaction, I don't know. So, like I said, her reaction was I thought she handled it very good, considering, last season we saw that when chefs had input about well, when the stews had input about the chefs, they would just like tell the chef what to do every time, and our chef did not enjoy that at all.
Mhm.
He found himself beefing with half of the stews. Fraser was not helping at all. He was just kind of like, I'm over it. I lost my friend Anthony, so blah blah
Exactly.
blah. But Asia says, okay, well, I'll take it, but in the meantime, she's gonna like try to like help hurry it on, like because the other
Yeah.
thing they complained about was the sponge cake, the deconstructed sponge cake. And she like, I just tried to get them to the toga party real fast so that they didn't notice that this was like,
So yeah, so
it was-
Asia's sister is a, chef, and,
mm,
sorry, and I misspoke, Colin it was not a chef, I just got him confused with the last time I watched Watch What Happens Live.
oh,
Anyway, so Colin was just a deckhand, he's now captain, shout out. But anyway, it's really interesting because on Watch What Happens Live, Asia said, "My sister is a chef on yacht."
mm.
And she has taught me that sponge cake is bottom of the barrel, and I
Oh,
like
okay.
sponge cake,
I
but where's
don't
the
have a
icing, Chappelle?
well, they said it wasn't chocolatey. They were like, oh yeah, it's like it's not very chocolate. I was like, oh, it's made out of
So
chocolate. So
probably was
I'm
not good.
yeah, I was like, yeah, they probably didn't have like They could have used like some icing and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then he put a sorbet on top of it. Uh, I'm good. I didn't need none of this. I was good.
Yeah, and you're not a like, I love
No,
chocolate cake,
yeah,
but mm-mm. No,
yeah,
no.
nope, not for me. Uh, do you think? Do you think? Because this is the second Jono drama that we've gotten, and it's only episode 3. If he's been a topic of conversation in 2 out of 3 of those episodes, really.
Yes.
I know Captain Sandy loves a good firing. You think Jono might be our number 1 draft pick for who might not make it through the season?
Oh, I think we're getting close. I thought about this. I was like, "Is he gonna get fired?" Maybe not, right? Like, maybe they just keep him and it's all good, we're fine. But I
Mhm.
can just see her being so frustrated with the type of food because Sandy is very particular. I think that we've known. And when it's with her friends on the yacht, she gets even more particular
Yeah.
about how it should be. So me thinks that this is gonna be an issue and she's gonna talk to him. The thing is he going to hear it? Maybe because she has a 3 strike policy. So is it that she is going to say it, he's gonna fix it? Or is it gonna be that you have no formal training and I think unfortunately this is not the space for you. Goodbye.
That's fair. Like, I'm pretty sure she's just gonna give him a warning, yes. But I do think throughout the season, it might
Yeah.
be a through line that he just doesn't have the training necessary to do the things that he needs to do. He's an architect who is now cooking, and I don't think, like I said, I don't have no real issue with the chef yet. I thought
Mhm.
the food was fine. It looked fine. And, it didn't taste awful. Aisha was talking about how they weren't talking while they were eating, so she could pick
Yep.
up that they weren't loving it. And I'm thinking, okay, that's probably fair. So I could imagine a world where she probably looks at it and says, okay, first round, first mistake, this is it, but also clean
Yes.
it up. And he just doesn't have the ability to kind of bounce
That
back in the
yes.
way that she wants. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's like casting is just having these people on that are just like sheep's led to slaughter. At this point,
Mhm.
that's what this is giving as well. And we must talk about the eggs because we've heard of over easy, over hard, over medium, eating it outside or eating it inside. But have you ever heard of eggs left out for 45 minutes with a towel, a kitchen towel over it?
This is bad. This is really bad. Because I tried to track the chain of events, right?
Yes.
So the first thing he does, he looks at Bree and he says, "They said they wanted breakfast at 8:30. Did you
Mhm.
get that note?" And she says, "Nay." And he says, "Okay." And so he goes to prepping. He doesn't finish until about 9 o'clock anyway. Now
Yep.
he told Bree 8:30. So I was already looking at him crazy when he finished at 9. They don't come out until 9:30 to start getting like to come to breakfast anyway. So by the time they bring the food out, like you said, it's been 45 minutes and they're like, "Oh yeah, we have to serve everybody." Wow,
Mhm.
that's crazy to give somebody food that's been sitting out for 45 minutes in any situation. At least at fast food restaurants they have it under a heat lamp. This is
Sure.
just sitting out on a counter with a towel over it. And
Can you put that towel on that egg?
I
Oh.
that doesn't that literally did not bother me because I could not see past the cold eggs. There's
Oh.
there's not a food in this world that I hate more than cold eggs. It's just because I love eggs. I love eggs. The moment they're cold, I cannot eat them. And so this was just like watching. I was like, oh no, oh no. I know they're not gonna eat those cold
But how
eggs.
did he feel like that was okay to do? All because he had to prep a beach party? But then
It's it's it's
what?
it's eggs, my brother. Eggs. Like eggs for one don't take that long to cook. And they
And
just
you
don't.
could do multiple in the pan. Like,
Yes.
it's so you can have 2 pans going if you need.
Yeah. Cooking eggs is all about heat regulation. So as long as you're watching
Yes.
it and making sure that like you can literally cook eggs and do like 2 other things at the same time.
And I
Like
didn't
you just
even see what else was there with the eggs. I honestly, because I was so
I
blinded
was,
by the towel on that thing, but I'm sure there was something else. The thing is, that was cold too and sitting out. So
mhm.
what's the point of this?
Yeah, this was not great. And I think they had asked for huevos ranchero is what it was, Sasha.
Oh,
Yeah, and so yeah, I mean the eggs are obviously a big part of the dish, but
yes.
I mean the rest of the dish is normally just like tortilla, avocado. You
But
know, a
wouldn't
lot of
that
that.
get soggy, or am I tripping?
I mean, you definitely don't want to leave this stuff just sitting on top of a plate, you know, to
Like,
go
it
eat
could
it.
be deconstructed, and then you put it all
Yeah.
together when they're ready to order. That's what I would think.
No, they said deconstructed means you screwed something up like that,
That
like
was
that's
so
a
funny.
mistake. But yeah, no, cold eggs, not for me. Literally not for me. This to me is a fireable offense. Please do not give me cold eggs.
And can you imagine biting into it?
No, because I would
The
literally vomit if I thought
horror.
about it too hard. It's something about eggs that they're just not edible to me as if they're cold. It
I
just
just
doesn't
have a
work like
weird
that.
thing with yolk anyway. I just feel like that would
Uh,
put me off to where I'm not gonna eat eggs ever again.
yeah, I can see that. So he
Ooh,
messed up chicken and eggs. Which came first?
both bland. That's what happened. And of
Cold
course,
egg.
it's just ridiculous. It was so bad that Gigi does end up going to Captain Sandy and sharing what happened.
Mm,
Sandy's effing pissed.
yeah.
Of course she is. Are we surprised?
Does this count as the second strike?
No, I still think this is all part of one charter. So I wonder if she's like, hey, this and this and this were the issues, and this is all now my first verbal warning to you.
Okay, so here's my counterpoint.
Yeah.
What about the first charter when he didn't have the snacks prepped at night and they had to go wake him
Oh,
up? Could that be part of like strike? Because he didn't really get in trouble for that,
yeah.
but they did have to remind him like the preference sheet did say that they wanted snacks, and you could have done something about it. This is the second time she's having to come to him with an issue,
But
and I
I
think
think
that
that
might be bad.
she, in her mind, thinks that the stews, of course, were responsible for that
Okay.
F up. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm, hmm.
So yes, I want to hold what you're saying in that it's gonna be in the back of Sandy's mind that like, oh, he has messed up now with provisions. But I
Hmm.
think maybe strike 1.5, let's say. But
Right,
I
right. That
don't
makes
think it
sense.
comes to a full strike, like strike 2
Hmm.
because of it.
No, it makes sense.
So we shall see. That's just how I feel. And yeah, it's ridiculous. And we see for the preview that when they're leaving, Gigi does call out that the food was not great.
Yeah, you know how people feel at the tip meeting, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? When they come in and they like, well, maybe it's the chef is the problem, so we all got
Mhm.
shortchanged. We could definitely see that happening because everything else went pretty smoothly where anybody wouldn't like
Yeah.
lose a tip except for the bosun
Let's
losing
get into
uh
it.
losing one of the charter members out into sea.
One
Um
thing about Nathan, he wants to be where people can't see him.
Oh yeah, he gonna get way away from the camera every time.
It was so funny because they're like, "Oh, come in," and he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can I go in?" Mind you, Ian has zero idea about what's going on that deck. He has now sent Gail to go take a workout break, 3 hours just off. And
Hmm,
now there's only one person on here. He has to do talk to the guests, like, be entertaining and keep an eye while this
hmm.
man with the guest has gotten himself lost.
Right. And Ian, the switch up on Ian was so fast. Did you like
Oh,
my head was spinning because he starts off with, I have the best team and everything's fine and blah,
mhm.
blah, blah. And this is just so easy peasy, XYZ. And then next thing you know, Sandy's telling him, like, hey, that was weird. You definitely aren't allowed to have, like
Yep,
the guest and like people from the boat out to sea without someone following them in the tender. Like that doesn't make sense to me. Why would you
correct.
do that? And Ian is like, okay, I hear you. But then he goes and he takes out all his anger on the other exterior crew, just
Yes.
like it is all like borderline passive aggressive. It's like he's saying everything's fine that y'all messed up, but we're like, wait a minute, you messed up. You're the blame for this one. Sit in that. Take accountability. He's just not.
And I love that Gail is like, "Did he forget that
Like,
he
how did this
sent me
happen?
out?"
Yeah.
Like, because he's even telling her, "Well, I thought 2 of you were up, blah, blah, blah." Huh? How?
How? Uh-huh. How did you think that? Um, he's kind of doing the thing where he's like he's taking accountability for the group's mistake, when it's
Mhm.
really your mistake and you should take accountability
Yes.
for your portion. He's like, okay, y'all, y'all all messed up, but it won't happen again. As your leader, I'll take accountability for that. I'll make sure it doesn't
Correct.
happen again. But they're like, no, you messed up. And as the leader, you should take accountability for you because we're fine. We definitely are complicit in the mistake, but it was your job to make sure the mistake didn't happen. So he's overcorrecting in my opinion, Sasha, and then he just starts micromanaging everything that they do.
And just stupid. Like, they have lost a little bit of respect for you, and you're now
Hmm.
micromanaging, which is making it worse because they can't even put a tender away, let alone that big ass slide. That's a problem. But they can't even put a tender away without being like, "Oh, put this rope here." They're acting like he is speaking no words.
Yeah. I mean, and it's his fault. It is because I think, like you said, it's a respect thing. It's like at first he was all about the team and this, that, other. But
Mhm.
when you see your leader refusing to take responsibility for something, it's gonna make you feel a way about their leadership skills. He's like, "Hey, man, you really want us to feel bad about this? You really want to make this
Yeah.
our fault when it was your idea in the first place? You know?"
Exactly. And I just think there's a way I listen, Nathan could have taken a little bit more accountability. 'Cause how are you getting lost with the damn guest?
Well, he said the current was taking them out the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I guess you can't control the current, but
Yes.
you definitely should have somebody with a tender somewhere nearby. Because what if the guest
Yeah,
falls into the ocean
and
and is
that's the
just in
problem.
the ocean?
How did Nathan and Joe not notice that this man is gone? And they're yelling, we need help," and then someone else has to rescue them? Oh, that is
Ghetto,
cringe.
ghetto. It turned out okay. So,
Yeah,
I don't think Captain Sandy and them are, well, not Captain Sandy. I don't think Gigi's gonna have a big complaint about it.
yes.
But it's only because it turned out okay, because it could have been really bad.
Correct, and I think that Captain Sandy actually might be, like, a little bit irritated at Ian, though,
Yeah.
she's gonna be like, "You don't have a hold of your team. I don't like that."
I mean, it's definitely something. He's like, I didn't know that that was a thing. It's like, okay, Ian, common sense says don't let these people go out into the ocean without a boat. It's
Mhm.
like that's very far away from the boat. You would want to make sure that you could get them back to the boat if something goes wrong. Thus, you should probably make sure. Now, don't get me wrong. Maybe that's not his first thought as somebody
Yes.
who is doing a lot of stuff on a boat, but you also are a boat professional. So, safety should be your number one concern, if anything. And so, yeah, it looks really bad. I wonder if this is a strike for Ian.
Yeah, and no one has a radio, that's another thing. Every one side is asking for things, and the other side is not listening to any radios. None of this makes sense. I'm like, "Just have your radio on to the right channel."
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's not happening. It's just not happening. We're just here. Vibes only. So yeah, I agree. Maybe deck team gets a firm talking to, but
Hmm.
we'll see because Captain Sandy loves deck team.
She talked to Ian a little bit. She told him, but
Little.
I don't know if they're gonna I don't know if it's gonna be a huge issue. Um, you know, but she should not have anything negative to say about the Stews this time. They all seem to be doing well. This was a good week
Very
for them.
surprising. Yeah, Lit Bree is also okay. Somehow laundry that's supposed to be happening on cold has happened. Elle
Hmm.
is just like calls herself the Lamborghini and calls Bree a Mazda, which is
It was
so
also
awkward.
hilarious, right? It was hilarious because Aisha wouldn't call Ellie a Lamborghini.
What's a she would call her maybe well, Mazda isn't even a bad car, but
It's
like
not a bad car. Yeah, she would be like, "You're like an Altima," you
yeah,
know,
like you're reliable, you're always gonna be
reliable.
there, it's nice. Like
Right.
you're
It's
not
not that
here to
flashy, nothing to
yeah.
nothing to show off, you know. But yeah, to compare yourself to a Lambo in any situation, you must have really high like opinion of yourself. And it's so funny to contrast that with Aisha being like,
Yes.
I'm doing the best with what I got.
I just I want that leaky ceiling to stop so that I can
Mhm.
make something happen for myself. Oh my god. And yeah, that was it really with the interior. I feel like there's not much going on currently, but
But
we will be having some drama.
well, you can kind of see it's coming, Sasha, because there's still there's a lot of flirting.
Yes.
Okay, so Bree. and Joe have just decided we're just gonna make inappropriate comments at each other until we have sex eventually.
Mhm.
Like she's like, "Oh, don't mess with the bull. You're getting the horns." And he's like, "I'm the one supposed to be giving you the horn." And I was like, "Wait, when did this?" Anyway, so it's sexy. They're doing some freaky. There's some freaky flirting on one side,
Freaky
but
frogs. Yeah.
freaky frogs, both of them. But Ellie is incorrectly assuming it from my point of view
Yeah.
that Joe is interested in her, and to be fair, they have chemistry. We see the clips of them kind of
Yeah,
like
there's
flirting and stuff.
something. She
But
talks
to
about it on Watch
me,
What Happens Live. She's not
really,
happy with
she's
Joe.
like
She's like,
currently or
"He"
based on what we've
yeah.
seen.
Like, she's like, "He is playing us, blah, blah, blah." Like, I didn't like that he's, oh, yeah,
Mm,
the question was, "Why are you a better match for Joe than Bree?" She goes, I'm not. He can have her." Like,
oh,
mhm,
what happened here? Um,
exactly.
did something happen, or is Ellie watching this on TV and realizing that she was
They got
incorrect the
played.
entire time?
Who kno it's very weird, like, she did not sound very happy with Joe, and it came up a few times.
Could you imagine you're talking to the cameras, you're doing a whole season of a show, and
Yes.
once a day maybe you come in and you talk about how you have so much chemistry with this man, you're the perfect match for him in the on the boat, all this other stuff, and then you go back and watch it and he's never talking about you at all, and he's only all
Ever.
he's doing was flirting with somebody else. I would feel so delusional that I too would be like, nope, I don't know that person. What are you talking about? Not me. That was never me. I never had a crush on them. I never knew. Nope. I was drunk. It wasn't me.
Mhm.
Like you have to shake that because I don't know what happens. But if we're just basing it off the first 3 episodes, if I'm Ellie, I would be mortified.
Yeah, so you know what? You're right. I think I'm on your maybe that's what it is. I was like, "Oh, he must have done something." But it's that she didn't like that he put a clown nose on her when she's a Lamborghini and that
Mm-hmm.
there's a Mazda that you picked over me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But girls, we don't talk about other girls. Stop this.
Stop it.
Yeah, and speaking of also girls, I forgot to bring this up, but Aisha's thoughts on the whole Gail situation was that she's not surprised that Gail was trying to step out because the guy that she's currently with doesn't speak to her in the best way and isn't supportive.
Mm.
And Aisha's team girls always. So
Yeah. No, go Aisha for sure. But I don't know. I don't know because Gail has definitely said to him that she needs to be a better
yeah,
girlfriend, because he's trying to like communicate with her, and she's not texting
when
back,
you're being abused, you think you're the fault. No,
which is
that's a
definitely
lot. I'm not
no,
saying.
yeah, which is definitely fair. But I wonder if we're gonna see any of what Aisha is bringing up. Like
Yeah.
if we're gonna get any of that energy off of him, because then at that point we're definitely just completely shipping her with Nathan, and we're just gonna push them off into that corner by themselves where the cameras can't see.
Mhm. Yeah, like, maybe, being a city girl is good for her, and she
We
should
might,
do this.
it might be time. It might be time to step out. But again, don't chicken out, Gail.
Come on, just do
Come
it.
on, just
What
do
do you
it.
have to
Just do it.
lose?
At
God.
this point, this guy sucks. Apparently, get out of there.
Very much. Okay, let's
Yeah.
make it happen. So, yeah, that happened. So, yeah, it was really interesting. Next week, we're also going to have a beach picnic that isn't set up, and there's more, I think, Ian drama, another bosun. Wow. Getting fired. I'm
So
just kidding, I don't
if
know.
you had to pick between Ian and Jono,
Oh,
if one
Ian
of them
should
has to
go.
get fired, you think Ian's going?
No, I would sorry, this is what I want, like, my dream
Okay.
casting
All right.
wise, because Jono is mess, and we need
Yeah.
this everyone else is too boring and too nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Ian's giving me a little bit of that drama because they're getting annoyed in him, right? And so I
Yeah,
think I could kind of deal with that too. But I don't
but
know.
we
I felt
hate, like, a person that's bad at their job, you know what I mean? Jono's, like,
yeah.
delusional, that's what's good about him. Even though
Yeah.
he apologized to Ellie, but, like, he's still,
He
like,
did.
"You're
I was
wrong."
very happy that he apologized to
Yeah,
Ellie too,
me
because I
too.
think that kind of left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths.
Mhm. But that's what I'm feeling at least, so we'll see. And, yeah, so I don't know. I think Jono, you're in the like, he's closer to firing, but I would
Hmm.
like Ian to go and maybe we get some more single men in for some fun party time. Because Aisha
Mm.
is cute and married, basically. Like, she's like,
Yeah, yeah.
they're like, bye. You know, it's
I
just like,
wonder if her guy's probably gonna show up at some point though. He's been
yeah,
popping up in
we've
these
already
new seasons.
exactly. Yep. I was like,
Yeah.
we've seen him. And listen, we love Aisha in that like she's so crazy and she's still bringing the sunshine to below deck because why is this girl talking about butt?
Hey, that was what they won for their toga contest. Sasha, what you think about the toga party?
Wow.
Right. I
What
thought they were
a
so boring. I was like, look, maybe the toga parties that I've been to have been a little bit less boring, but these were they bought their togas from like a costume shop, like a
yes.
Spirit of Halloween or something like
Just
that.
like, boo, why are you wearing clothes underneath? Ugh.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like a toga is supposed to be handmade
And you're supposed
couture.
to be like holding it up
Yeah,
while you come
right. It's
on.
held together by a prayer. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, I see what y'all doing, but that takes the spirit out of it a little bit. You know, it's supposed to
Correct.
be like, okay, these are the fabrics that we can find. This is the bed sheet that I have. Pour some baby oil on me and call it a day.
Literally. Listen,
Yeah,
my sorority used to host toga parties, like, at a club, and we didn't go to the same school, but your fraternity brothers would always show up, and
yeah,
it was like a moment. Okay,
yeah,
my poor neos, but listen, okay, toga parties, you're doing it wrong. Toga parties are
yeah,
supposed to be ratchet, lights off, clothes
yeah.
barely on. That is
Clothes.
toga par clothes, exactly.
Right.
Be serious, everyone. Ugh,
Mm.
like, if you're bringing up butt plugs, then, like, come on.
Yeah, Aisha brought it up, but I was like, I don't think this is the group for that. They're not into it. They
Yeah.
laughed, but I
They
don't think
laughed
they
as in,
got it.
"Ha no."
Yeah, no,
That
no,
was
no,
the
no.
laugh.
Not for them.
They weren't serious. Yeah, I was very disappointed in this toga party. Again, when you go on Martha's Vineyard, I'm gonna be the plus-one friend that comes on, and we're gonna host a toga party.
I could, yeah. If I end up on the show, you gotta come. So that
No,
will
like, you
I'll
must.
concede.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
You must.
I'll concede to that for sure.
Me and Ty will come. Ty will be like your friend that will be there, like the whole time, but I will come host the party. Don't worry. Oh my god! But yes, that is anything else from this episode?
No, but shout out to Bree. She's stepping it
Yes,
up. You know, she
yeah,
evolved
no
from
mistakes.
Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard. She's making her way up the ranks.
She's not
You know,
Charmeleon yet, right? Charmeleon's the
yeah.
third one, right?
She
Yeah.
Charmeleon's in the middle, but I think Aisha
No.
said she's already to Charizard. I was like, you're giving her a lot. You're giving her a
Yeah, I was like,
lot.
wait, that doesn't make sense. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, but
I'm
yeah,
lost.
I was aside from that, no, I thought it was a pretty solid episode of Below Deck. Not a lot of craziness, but I do think it's building to more craziness, and
That's what
it's
I was.
early
Yes,
on.
yes.
Yeah.
It's a good setup episode. Again,
Mm.
for Watch What Happens Live, like they were really scraping the barrel for this one. Even though Asia and Elle were like they were both Ellie were like both good with like saying everything. Like they were like, you talk and we're gonna just spew. But Andy just wasn't giving it. Their games were boring. The one thing I
Mm.
did write down for you, they did a a shag Mary kill
Oh,
game, and they did Nick, Amir, and Alex.
Nick, Amir, and Alex from
Martha's
Summer
Vineyard.
House. Let me
Yeah.
see.
And I just giggled. Ellie had to pick, yeah.
So what'd she pick? Do you remember?
Said marry Nick, which I believe you and I are now on the same page. Shag Amir and kill Alex because he just looks like a player.
I think no disrespect to my brothers over here, the fellas, but I think you gotta get rid of Amir. I think after what we saw last season,
Oh, I see
I
what
think he can
okay, you
go.
know what? Yes, why not? Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think you
I'm
gotta
back
kill
with
Amir.
you.
Yeah,
I'm saying, "Okay, Alex, because you don't wanna get caught up," but no, one night with Alex would be fascinating.
live your life. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
'cause I would
Yeah.
wanna say that all these girls kept trying and it didn't work, but I was able to scale the mountain.
Slay the dragon, Sasha. Yeah.
That would
Look.
be fun.
Uh,
I've
uh,
been in situations like that where you're like, "I'm not interested," but, like
I'm bored.
yeah, and no, and, like, I would like to say that this is a notch on my belt.
Yeah, let's go ahead and tack one more up, one more
You
point
know,
up for me.
sometimes you're just like, I don't necessarily care, but everyone else cares, so
Yeah,
that means
increase my
now
stat
I'm
sheet.
interested.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Yeah, definitely interesting choices from Ellie, but okay,
Yeah,
sure.
I thought that was interesting. Then they had a for your all us Southern Charm fans, Craig, Austin, and Shep, and she said marry Craig. Shag Austin, kill them all, and
Mwah.
kill Shep. Which, like, again, you gotta have sex with Shep. There's many reasons why you want to know what's going on there. And there were a
Mm.
few below deck ones as well. Captain Jason, Luca, and Jack, which is Aisha's Jack. And she goes, shag 'em all.
Ah,
Correct. That is the right answer. Oh, I don't know what Jack. Not my type. And then we had a Z. You've not met Z, but you will
I
love
have met
Z.
Z. He was
Have
on
you?
Project Runway.
Oh, yes, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So Z, Alex, who was a deckhand, and Joao. Of course, Mary Z. Correct. That is
I
the
thought you were
correct
gonna marry
answer.
Joelle because I know you're a big fan.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna end this podcast. We're all canceled by Sasha now. um yeah, so it was, yes, and then Shag, Alex, kill Joao. Correct. So there were a few, but again, these were the games they were playing. Very boring. We didn't really
Mm.
get much more tea. But Ellie does have an OnlyFans,
Oh, okay. What did she
but
do
it's
on there?
not
Did she say?
vulgar, she said. So
Did she say what she does on there?
nope.
It's fine. I'll do the research.
Yeah, I was like, you should tell me.
Hmm.
Yeah, thank you for taking one for the team. Wow, must be very
Obviously,
hard.
someone has to do the investigative journalism at some point. It's
Yes.
me.
Okay, stand up, people. Do the investigative journalism. Chappelle
I
doesn't.
got it. No, I got it. No worries. Stand down.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, that was it from Watch What Happens Live. I think that is it for this episode then. Thank you everyone for listening. Again, if you're listening to us on the on the Below Deck RHAPups feed, make sure you're giving us a 5 star. 5 stars only. And if you're listening to us or watching us on YouTube, hit that like button, leave a little comment, share with your friends. All right, sharing is caring. And with that, you can follow me on Twitter at funsize_04. And I am doing Mess Magnets, which is a pop culture vibes only podcast where we talk about what's trending in pop culture. Very fun. Check that out on Robin's website /mess feed. I am also talking a brand new scripted show called TV for Real, where we bring in your favorite reality TV people to talk their favorite scripted shows. So check that out on We Know Scripted TV. Mike Bloom and I are having so much fun. We just talked with Bryce Isaiah, just
King.
unhinged. Lots of fun train talk. So if you love trains, check that out. Choo choo. And of course, I'm also covering Jet Lag, the show on, or the game. I'm covering that show on YouTube right here on Robin's podcast with Taryn Armstrong. And for everything else, follow me on Twitter. What about you, Chappelle?
Well, aside from being here on RHAP, I'm also doing nothing but Netflix on RHAP as well. Jason Reed stepped in for Rob Cesternino this week as Rob is traveling, and we talked about Hitman, the #1 movie on Netflix. It was a great time, but check that out for more Netflix coverage. Make sure you subscribe to the Nothing But Netflix podcast feed. Then over on my podcast, Recap Kickback, on recapkickback.com, talking about whatever I want to talk about. And that includes sometimes with Sasha, Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, but also some new stuff that we have coming your way. So Mari and I are covering House of the Dragon season 2. Mari is a book expert, and I am a casual goofball who is trying to figure out the show. And so come check it out. It's a lot of fun. And, come join the conversation over at recapkickback.com about a House of the Dragon. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page as well, youtube.com/@recapkickback. And you can also catch our coverage of what do I have coming up? We did some Juneteenth
Oh, yeah.
conversation over there as well, talking about the blackening with AJ Norris and a new friend of the podcast being Camille AF. Fun times over there. And then I got a lot more stuff coming your way as the summer progresses. But you got to check that out on recapkickback.com and follow me at recapkickback wherever you get your podcast and on all social media platforms.
Yeah, so fun. Thank you everyone for listening. We'll see you hopefully next week. Bye.